Okay, everybody, here we go. I think what we should do here, you and I. All right. First of all, you guys and girls can hear me 5 by 5. Let me know because I hate this freaking thing. But I tell you something that I'm choking here. I'll tell you something that I even hate more. Well, I don't even know how to put this without like cracking up a little bit. So apparently, there's an Iranian mothership. Yeah, you're hearing right. And this Iranian mothership is flying drones all over the place. Let me tell you something. I live out here in Bradenton, Florida. I've seen three of these things, and these are big and they are freaking loud. I've never seen anything like it before. So apparently, these are Iranian drones from an Iranian mothership. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Obviously, people look, man, this is propaganda. This is not true. But that's what they want you to believe. They want to see if they can convince you of this, okay? And they're probably going to find some mysterious evidence that it's true to convince you. This is not true. This has got to be, I mean, it's just too freaking laughable here. It's too funny. You can't make it up. It's impossible to do. Um, but try. You're more. All of you here are very smart and thank you, Dr. Susan Steffens. I appreciate that. Um, no, you just stop. Really, come on, man. You can't just. You know what? Let's not talk about this again because it's too much. Let's come down to earth from the mothership. All right, we're going to come down to earth from the mothership for just a second here. Now, with regard to I'm sorry, I can't stop. With regard to accountability here, so this is what we found out today. U.S. consumer prices post their largest gain in 7 months. When do you think one of our loving, caring members of Congress who are now telling us it's a mothership, doing, when are they going to hold the Fed to account on this? That we will lie to? Wait, they were saying it too. You're right. So they won't do it. They can't call themselves out as well. Yeah, so, being lied to, consumer prices continue to rise. Annual inflation rate accelerates as expected. Really? Well, we were told it was supposed to go down. So how could it be as expected? Can someone here explain this to Greg Mannarino? That's a lot smarter than him because that's all of you. But we were told this was supposed to go down, right, Tyler? Thank you. Yes, I think Janet hopefully got abducted and they're examining her for her bowl haircut. They want to see exactly how it's done. But you did expect inflation to rise, right? Because they've been telling you it's going to drop and we're all good and it's beautiful, but they expected it to happen. Like the mothership. The mothership. Okay, here we go. So November CPI report headline and core readings, they came up too. Oh my. No one saw this one coming. No. Here we go. So, Bank of Canada, this is a pretty big cut here. Cut rates today by 50 basis points. This their second one, actually. But now the Bank of Canada is saying that they're going to now approach this from a little gradually. So let's see what we got here. Tomorrow, we're going to hear from the illustrious ECB, the European Central Bank. I think they're going to cut. I really do. Let's see if I'm right. Because again, we're not done being destroyed and inflation continues to rise. But what are they doing? They're cutting rates as inflation is rising because that's really going to work. It's really, really going to work. You see the bigger picture yet? So, Bank of Canada. What did I write here? Oh yeah, there's the ECB. And then next week we got the illustrious, three illustriouses. Is that a word? Federal Reserve. And look, man, even despite what we just saw here, again, inflation is rising by their own numbers. They can't even cover it up. They're telling you, see, here's the situation here. They're laughing at you. They're laughing at me too. But we're laughing back and, they can read between the lines. You see right here? Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the situation here. They're throwing it on our face. They're saying, look, everyone, inflation is rising. No one's being held to account. We can do whatever we want to. We can say anything. Well, there's no accountability, so let's just keep on doing it. And they're going to cut rates. Is like this is supposed to make a difference here. Think about it. They're cutting rates here, telling us how strong our economy is. Meanwhile, inflation continues to rise. You know how they could stop inflation in its tracks. They can do this several ways. Okay, I've covered this again. Greg, where's the solutions? All you're talking is about gloom and doom and motherships. Yes, I'm talking about motherships now too. But yeah, they could drastically contract the money supply. That's number one. Number two, increase rates, which is exactly what we need. We do not need lower rates. You know that, okay? Just look back 20, 30 years ago when we had a stronger currency on the back of higher rates. Again, it was a beautiful place to be. One income could support a family and a brand new car and a nice freaking detached house. But today we've become a nation of slaves and renters because of the mechanism, because lowering rates is what you need. It's what you need. No, it's not what you need. It's what the corporations need. And exactly, look, man, let me just show you something else here. This mechanism of wealth being shoved up to the 1% and 2%, you know how this works here. So this is something you're not going to hear too much about. This is Yahoo Finance. I just want to read a little bit of this to you. So big banks find many reasons to be optimistic about 2025 as Trump 2.0 nears. So obviously we understand. The banks are foaming. Foam is pouring out of their mouth because of this unholy merger between cryptocurrencies and the banking system here. This is a backdoor bailout. They're loving it. They're orgasmic all over the place, spraying their shorts and everything, freaking out. You know that. But it's even more so than that. The deregulation of these banks is really what they're all giddy about. Now let's talk about this. So these big banks, the pig banks, okay, and the pig bankers. Let's see, they're all happy. Executives from the country's biggest banks sounded very optimistic as they are assured the impact of the new. They have been assured that the impact of the new Trump administration is going to benefit them. JP Morgan Chase revised its key revenue higher for 2025. Citigroup CFO Mark, whatever the freak, said his bank will be on the higher end of its full year revenue guidance as well. And PNC Bank CEO Bill, whatever the freak his name is, said he just put together a plan for his board that is as bullish as anything I've ever seen. And he goes on to say, I think we're in a very good environment for banks. Of course you are. Well, why do you think this is all being set up? Why do you think Trump was selected here? Duh. Come on, man. It's just like the motherships. Yeah, people make it up, guys and girls. It's too much. I swear to you, it really, really is. Anyway, so as I said at the beginning, just in case you want to see this, for whatever reason, I have no idea. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm going to show it to you anyway. So this is what it looks like. So with this new record high for the NASDAQ today. Yes, a new record high for the NASDAQ. What has Greg been telling you? Tech. NASDAQ. Why has Greg been building a position in JEPQ for like a really, really long time? See, because Greg understands that the mechanism here of artificially suppressed rates, and maybe even negative if Trump gets his way, okay, is going to be so positive for the tech sector that I'm foaming at my mouth. And maybe you should be too. Although negative rates is going to be the most destructive thing we've ever seen in history. That was what Trump was wanted last time. Remember, he called the Fed boneheads. You freaking boneheads. You should be going negative. The Fed doesn't know what they're doing. Of course, look, man. They were lowering, but he wanted negative. Because negative means you have to pay the bank for the privilege to keep whatever cash you have in them. You think that's not coming? Oh, it probably is. But they're going to tell you how great we're doing, how strong our economy is. So it's so great that these banks that are so optimistic know that you're going to be paying them if Trump gets his way with negative rates. You're going to love that, aren't you? You're going to love every second of it. Well, these CEOs are all loving it, so why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't you? Get your cash out of these institutions, people. They are predatory, and they think of you as nothing but prey. And unfortunately, that's where we're going. So yeah, we did get a slight fractional loss with the Dow. The S&P 500 just a fraction of a fraction of a fraction away from a new record. But the Nasdaq here, the Nasdaq is going to surprise everyone moving forward here. So over 20,000 for the first time ever. Beautiful and lovely and fantastic. Look at this. So you got gold, silver, and look at crude oil. Why is that happening? Because Israel's bombing targets all over the Middle East. And now Iran has a mothership and they're floating drones over us. And that's another excuse, isn't it, for more war? Of course it is. They're setting you up. Don't you see the setup here? Iran has had a target on it for a very, very long time. Now they're going to make you really scared, really, really scared of Iran. Even though it's us. We're doing that. These are our drones. You know that, right? But they're trying to tell you that it's the mothership. Anyway, here you go. Crypto is doing pretty well across the board. Imagine our shock as we are transitioned away from the dollar and into this new system. By the way, as most of you know, and I sent this out to you earlier today, some freaking senator, the one that Trump picked for something or other, is putting together a bill to sell our gold to buy a million bitcoins, 1 million bitcoins. We're going to get rid of a real thing and put in some 100 million Bitcoin into the strategic reserves. And that's because we all think that's a great idea. And maybe the mothership will beam us up. You think the mothership is going to beam us up? Maybe. Make this stuff up, man. $100 billion worth of gold potentially could be sold here to buy Bitcoin to put in the U.S. strategic reserves, because you really, really voted for being the crypto capital of the world, didn't you? You wanted that. Tyler, thank you. South Park, beautiful. Yes, they always tell you what's going on. Look, man, you know their book. Their playbook demands. I don't know. Look, I don't follow their book. We have another book. You know what book I'm talking about, okay? Their book, the rules are pretty obvious. They have to tell you first what they're doing, what they're going to do. And then they see what you're going to do about it. I'm not going to do anything. Yes. And then they can roll all over you. You think that's going to stop? People, come on, man. You can't make this stuff up. It's impossible. Oh, I can't take this sometimes. I really can't. Anyway, guys and girls, what else you guys and girls want to talk about? I mean, come on, man. You can't make any of this stuff up here. It's absolutely absurd. It's insane. How many of you out here really honestly believe that you're going to start to see by some miracle that tariffs are going to pay for inflation and they're going to pay off the debt? And now, do you realize where we're going to be a year from right now? You think the economy is bad now? You guys and girls, honestly, I know you're too smart to believe that. You got to be ready for what's coming here in a massive way. I'm telling you right now, stock up on non-perishables. Okay, I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have swarms of motherships over the United States. They're going to give us another Pearl Harbor, which I really think may be what they're going to do. Again, the mechanism of war is their oldest trick in the book, and they're going to fall back on that to allow the Federal Reserve to inflate. It's already going on. It's getting worse and worse, as you all know. I said right from the get-go that this war in the Middle East was going to go on and on and on and on and on. And that's going to get monumentally worse. With regard to the Ukraine war, we'll see where that goes over there. But it's just war itself is just not going to stop, unfortunately. And all this means is more cash to be pulled into existence. I have no idea what else they have in store for us, motherships notwithstanding or anything else. But I can tell you it ain't going to be pretty. It really ain't going to be pretty. But you guys and girls know that already, honestly. So, yeah, my mother has a ship. My mother has a ship. I wish my mother had a ship, bro. My mom, she barely gets out of the house. She's quite a character these days, my mom. But that's a whole other thing. Anyway, do you guys and girls, seriously, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we do you see what they're doing? You notice all this technology now, this quantum this and these better chips and everything else. This is how they're going to say, hey, hold on a minute. We're going to use all this to allow ourselves, the United States, to be the leader of the new system. It's all being put together. You really got to focus on, I'm a big picture guy. You all know that. I'm a macro analyst. But it's too simple when you see these little things getting floated out here. You watch the mainstream media and the talk. Obviously, this is all a mechanism for the new system as well. They gotta make you feel like this is the right thing that we need. We're going to get rid of the dollar. There's going to be a cashless system. I don't care what came out of Trump's mouth. He has no say so. You have to understand that Trump's strings are being pulled like every other puppet before him. Again, why do you think? Please do your own research about this. Let me ask you, and I really want to be candid with you guys and girls. I've told you about this before, but I don't know how many of you actually understand this. Every president, whether they're sitting in office, running to an office again, or it's someone else who wants to sit behind the Resolute desk, you know where they go first before they go to you? Behind closed doors, with no photographs, with no cameras, with no notes, with no anything. They go to Wall Street first. They go to Wall Street first to get vetted. As I don't know what happens there, but during their vetting, I believe that they probably sit in the center of a room with a bunch of shadowy figures around them that want to hear what's going to come out of their mouth, and then they're going to tell them what the agenda is. You have to understand, they can't allow you to know this stuff. But that's exactly what goes on here. After they go to Wall Street, the central banks, whoever they got to pull in, leaders around the world, the Bilderbergs, everybody else, they put those people there, they do their thing, and then they go to you. I find it revolting, honestly, and insulting that this is even allowed to happen. How is that even? This again, no evidence. It doesn't exist. But look it up for yourself. It really does happen. Oh, yeah, it does. I tell you, man, it's too much. It's too much to watch things unfold in a way that you and I realized they were going to. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist or anything else here. It's too easy just by connecting the dots. And by connecting the dots, people, look, man, I'm making a lot of fun of this stuff and motherships and everything else, and the market's going up and blah, blah, blah. It's all funny and it's all good, and maybe it's somewhat entertaining, but the fact of the matter is this is a destruction. This is an extinction level event. And that is pretty serious. I mean, I don't know another way to put it. And those that really run the show here, and I'm telling you right now, it's a handful of families that control the entire world. You don't believe me on that one either? You think it sounds like a mothership science fiction? Maybe you need to look that stuff up for yourself too. Okay, this is all easily researchable stuff. Anyway, look, man, it's Murdership, Freaky Loretta. I love that. I love you guys. You guys and girls are too much, man. About 3 weeks ago, with regard to these drones, I'm looking out towards the back of my house and I'm looking at something and I'm like, what the freak is that? And I'm watching it, the first thing that pops into my head is like, this is some kind of a UFO or something. Madison, thank you so much. And if it was a UFO to me, I don't know what it was. So I'm watching this thing, and then it's getting closer and closer and louder and louder. I'm like, holy freaking woof, this thing's huge. And then this a few weeks back, and then another one came, and like another one after that. Same thing. Maybe it was the same thing. I don't know. But these things, if you haven't seen one yet, they're pretty incredible. Honestly, they're not small. I mean, these are big. I don't know how big they are, but they're not. They are huge and loud. And I wanted to shoot it. I really did. I got some firearms. Oh yeah. I wanted to shoot it. But I said to myself, this is some kind of a government thing. It's obvious if I shoot at it, they're going to come and shoot me too. Anyway, guys and girls. Yeah, they probably are. I'm reading this. They say they're about a car size. These might be bigger than that. I don't know. I can't judge. I can't just by looking up at the stars in this thing, I can't tell how big it is. But it was huge and it was loud, really loud. Anyway, we're kind of getting out of here, guys. But I love all you guys. Thanks for being here. Honestly, yeah, a 50 cal would have done it. I think something smaller would have done it than that too, but what do I know? I mean, a 50 cal would have definitely took that thing down. Poof. I don't got a 50 cal. I wish I did, but Madison, thanks again. I appreciate that. Why the angry face? Anyway, guys. Yeah, that would work. That would work. I wouldn't mind taking a few pot shots at these things. Hey, since we know they're Iranian now, because that's what we're being told, and they're from the mothership, maybe we could shoot at them, right? Can we do that? I don't know. You guys and girls, let me know. 7mm mag, that would do it. Anyway, guys, I think we're done for today. Honestly, let me say something about the banks just real quick here. They're spraying their shorts, the CEOs of these banks here. I already told you what this is really about. Analyst the apps, I thank you for that too. They're getting a backdoor bailout, man, and because these institutions are insolvent with black hole balance sheets, and what you're doing here to allow this alliance between the cryptocurrency and the banks. This is an unholy alliance, and this is going to be in control. So this is being extorted out of you. But these CEOs of these mega banks here are just loving this because this is exactly what they wanted. It's exactly what they got. Because these were the same guys that sat in that round table with the little creature in the middle. You understand? They told you that's the way it's going to go. You're going to love cryptocurrencies. We know you don't like it, but you're now going to convince those that worship you, because you are worshipped, that now you're the crypto king, and we're going to do what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to play it out, and you're going to play along, whether you like it or not. I mean, let's be honest here, man. That's exactly what's going on here. If you guys think it ain't going another way, then I don't know what to tell you. All right, guys, we are going to part ways for just a little bit. But we'll get together in the morning. We're going to have some fun here, honestly, as always. And like I say, look, I look at this stuff and you got to laugh. You really do. They really think we're stupid. That's insulting. It's insulting. But what else would you expect here? And of course, we know where this is eventually going to go. It ain't pretty. It ain't pretty for the people of the world, unfortunately. But for you and me, we got this down. We know what we're doing. We know why we're doing it. And I love that very much. All right. Me and you, we're gonna get together in the morning. All right. And anyway, that's it, guys and girls. Please, until we see each other in the morning, I want you to think about these things that we've spoken about, have a laugh or two, but then do something about it. If we realize what's happening here, people, again, it's too simple. This has got to be, again, what I've been telling you, this is a gift. This is a gift that we've been giving. We must stay on the right side here. And if that means we got to sleep with the enemy, and that means do things that we generally wouldn't like to do with participating in this freaking freak show of everything that's around. Of course, what have I been telling you? We live in Babylon, but we don't have to be of it. But we could use this system. Okay, it's too simple. And just again, for every action, there is a reaction. There's one action what they're doing to us, and we're reacting to it, and we're reacting to it in a way that's benefiting us. All right. And unfortunately, I wish there were more people doing this, but they're getting destroyed. They're getting absolutely freaking wiped out. It's a terrible thing to see. It really, really is. And people are getting destroyed. Not just here in the United States. My European friends are getting wiped out. My friends all around the world are getting wiped out. Here in the United States is going to be last. I've been telling you this for the longest time. The rest of the world is falling faster. We're going to fall, and our fall is going to be the greatest fall. Americans are generally very soft. They can't handle this stuff. They're not going to know what to do with themselves. You understand? They've been told that they're each other's enemies. You can't see each other's faces. They've been warped into another place. Unfortunately, you know the situation with regard to that, and it's a terrible thing. It really, really is. But anyway, that's it, guys. I will see you in the morning. Okay, now until we see you again, what am I going to say? Take care of yourselves. And just as importantly, we got to take care of each other, all right? I'll see you.